most nerve-wracking experience for you in broadcasting?
I would say that came this past November. I was actually out in Asia broadcasting the Premier 12, which is the precursor to what was supposed to be the 2020 Olympics. It was supposed to determine two of the countries that were playing in the Olympics as well as seeding. And I was actually able to call the gold medal game, Japan versus Korea, from the Tokyo Dome.
Wow.
And doing a stand-up with JP Morosi with 45,000 people watching about 35 minutes before first pitch. I looked at JP about a minute before I went on. I'm just like, I'm about to pass out, man. You're going to have to hold me up. Like, I'm spinning. And that's when you really just have to focus on your breathing. Take 3 big, deep breaths and just center yourself and make sure that you're in the zone. I mean, breathing is so important with any broadcast, not just the high-pressure flow broadcast. So being able to learn that, I've also listened to some podcasts and read some books on, trying to take control of my voice, care of my voice, just knowing what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say it, and how it's going to sound, and just making sure that all my energy is going to the right places. So breathing is very important. I really was able to notice that when I was about to pass out at the Tokyo Dome.
So you're in front of 45,000 people. Like, did you do any superstitious thing beforehand? Like you mentioned, obviously, breathing, the most important thing. Like, was it obvious that you were nervous in the eyes of other people that you asked?
At that point, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I was. I think I went into the camera well and jumped around for a little bit and just shook my hands. But no, there was no superstition. It's just making sure that you don't screw up and put yourself in the best situation to have a good broadcast or have a good stand-up or have a good pregame show. And whether that's breathing, whether that is washing your face of cold water before you go on air.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own things. It's just, I wouldn't call it superstition. I would call it preparation.
Right. And how'd that segment end up with JP Morosi?
I think it went fine. I have a copy of it. I mean, it wasn't my best on-air segment, but it definitely wasn't my worst considering the circumstances. But, just being able to call a gold medal game on a global perspective and, having 45,000 fans and that type of atmosphere and crowd noise, I mean, that's something that I'll never forget. It's pretty special.
And, not to rank certain moments, but that's got to be one of the more ones up there for you. I mean, baseball in the Tokyo Dome, right?
It's number one. It's number one far and away. Between that and just calling the Premier 12, calling a game in Taiwan, a Chinese Taipei game in Taiwan where they have coordinated chants for every single player that goes up, able to call a Cubs spring training game at Sloan Park. Those are probably the top 3 moments of my professional broadcasting career.